Welcome back. Stassi23 here, back again with some knife therapy. And before I get started, if you like this video, please drop a thumbs up on it. It helps out the channel a whole bunch. If not, thumbs down works as well. And if you like knife content and you're not already, smash that subscribe button. Today I have for you a Bestech. This is the Samari. And I think in my other video before I took it down, I said Samurai like an idiot. But this is the Samari. This is a Kambu design. Kambu's designed at least 10 folders that I know of for Bestech now. He has the Falco, the Costa, the Escra, the Ornetta, and several other ones. I just can't think of all their names. Some of them are hard to pronounce. But the Samari comes in at $248, and it's in their higher end batch of knives. And this is no small knife. This is a pretty large knife, but it carries very well. Let's get some specs out of the way. You have a total length of 8 3/4 inches. So it's in that larger tier size range as far as length goes. You have a blade length of 3.87 inches, so almost 4 inches. You have a grip area from right in front of that flipper tab to the back up here of 4 1/4 inches. You have a handle thickness of here to here of 0.51, so a little bit above average. You have width in the pocket from here to here of 1.11 inches, and you have a blade stock thickness at 0.15 inches or 3.77 millimeters. The thickness behind the edge on this flat portion right here was around 18 thousandths, and in this Tanto portion, or the belly portion, it ranged from about 17 to 18 thousandths as well. Now this is more for your light duty, if I would have to say your light duty task, EDC task. It's going to be great at piercing, stabbing. I mean, look at that tip. That is a very, very keen tip right there. I measured the thickness at the tip right here, and it's 19 thousandths thick. Very, very thin. Definitely not going to want to do any prying. And the usage footage that I'm about to show, I did some stabbing with it, but I did not do any side-to-side force because that tip would definitely snap off. And this is not my knife, so I will not be testing that out. I will say I like a lot of Kambu's designs. I just now reviewed this one not too long ago, the Falco. I really, really like this knife a lot, and it did amazing in my testing. If you haven't seen the footage on this one, definitely want to go check it out. But Kambu is a graphic designer, and he's been, one of the main designers for Bestech, and I like a lot of his stuff. There are a lot of futuristic looking designs. Like, I mean, that blade shape, very unique looking, and the mill work. I mean, just look at that. There's several different variations. You can get different colors in this middle portion. This is black underneath with the green, like stone washed finish. I like his logo on that pivot right there. That's really cool. And that's his maker's mark right there. It says Kambu. If you turn it, I think, yeah, like that, you can see it. This one has a belt satin. I saw one on his page that had horizontal hand rub satin on it, and it looked absolutely gorgeous. But let's break off into the testing footage, and then I will give y'all my final conclusions on the Bestech Samari. Peace. All right, we're gonna do a little cardboard cutting with the M390 Samurai. Try this back area first. Yep. Just out the ergos and the Samurai, doing a little bit of wood shaving. No, I'm feeling the top of this clip You can see where it imprinted in my hand right there when I'm doing the hammer grip. Let's see, saber grip. All right, not bad. Just that clip when in the hammer grip, it's just kind of bearing down my hand. All right, we're gonna do some light spine whacking with the Samurai. Nothing major because of that tip. Just showed you that forward lockup still the same. No play, up or down, left or right. Call that a win. All right, I'm gonna do some very, very light stabbing because that tip is very, very fine. But as long as I don't do any side to side motion, it should be fine. Alrighty. Tip is still needle-like, as you can see. I think it did fine. And that's about all I want to do this one. Be a good self-defense knife though. Alright, we're going to try to cut up a few things with the Bestech Samari. 2 different sizes of hoses. This one's very dense. This one's not too bad. And then just a little bit of twisted style rope. Just like it. Back portion. There we go. Alrighty, I hope y'all enjoyed that footage. I was kind of worried at first, you know, especially just doing the regular stabbing, you know, with something that fine. I was worried that I could even break it off there, but the heat treat is done properly on here and I didn't have any issues. Like I said, I didn't do any side-to-side force as y'all could see, but I think it did fairly well. Now, this blade shape is not the best for my particular EDC, but I did like the way it cut. The transition, I was scared that whenever I was cutting through this, the transition right here would cause it to catch, and as being as sharp as it was, it did not have a problem getting through the material whatsoever. This area right here, this scoop right here, you can see it starts back here into the handle, and then that jimping felt really locked in, very, very good in this, I think what this is, saber grip right here, very, very comfortable. The only hot spot, and I talked about it during the cutting footage, that I noticed is whenever I was doing those force cuts into the wood going down, that, let me close this up, that the tip of this clip right here, it's got this milled section right here, and that tip right there at the edge of that milling, and the tip right here was really digging into my hands because it's a narrow handle. So I was really squeezing onto it, really hard, and I could feel it just doing that right there, and that clip eating into my hand. Now sharpening, it's going to be like sharpening, a traditional tanto or a Japanese tanto, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if I were to be sharpening this, I would sharpen this first in my wicked edge. I would sharpen this little section first completely, and then I would reposition it, and I would sharpen the rest of it. You could do it all one motion if you wanted to, but then you're not going to have this crisp line right there that separates these two angles. You're going to have one just continuous angle, which is fine if you don't care about that, but you essentially have like another little point right there. So if you want to stick it in something, but being that you got this long elongated tanto right there, that's, you can maybe stick and then pull up on it. I'm not, not too sure. The flipping action on this knife is really nice. As you can see, you have like these landing pads in there. I love when they do that. The flipper's comfortable. It does have jimping. Comes out with authority. You also have some nice chamfering to get to that lock bar because it is flush with the show side, but there's enough space in there to easily get to that lock bar without an issue. I know this is, it's a polarizing design, and it's not going to be for everyone. I thought it was very attractive. I just like when you get, a blade shape that you don't see that often. I mean, that's pretty aggressive looking, and that's why I want to check this one out. Bestech does an amazing job with, especially their high end. They really take care of every little detail on the knife. As you can see on the show side, you got this one hardware screw right here, and you got the pivot. And I was thinking to myself when I looked at it, I was like, man, there's only one screw with this long of a handle. I was thinking, that's probably not that good. So I was like, maybe there's a pin. Well, what they did was, you see, you got this backspacer that's got this faux file work in there, and a nice little dimple right there. Very nicely done. But the other screw for this right here, where they would normally have one, is on this side. So very, very nicely done. And as you can see on this side where this one goes in, it's actually screwing into this pocket clip. So they just swapped it around. Very, very cool how they did that. Now, one thing that I noticed that I think they could have helped out the lines on this knife a whole lot. You got this nice clean pattern on this top anodized part right here. You flip it over, and you had that same pattern on the other side, and it's nice and clean. And then they have to break it up because they put the lock bar relief cutout on the outside. If they would have did it on the inside, then they could have left that pattern untouched, and it would have looked a lot cleaner, in my opinion. But I didn't design the knife. I didn't make the knife. I like the use of the titanium pivot collars. I think it might have looked better if they would have made those another color, but then it would have been kind of busy, especially, the only other color would have been probably black, but then you have the black pivot. So I don't know, maybe that's the better choice. And they did go with a different finish. That's more of like a high satin finish on the pivot collar, and then you have like a brushed finish on the top part of the titanium right here. This knife has heavy skeletonization underneath there, and for almost being a 9-inch knife, the weight on this knife is really good. Let's see, we'll give it to you in grams first, since that's what comes up first. So 105.4 grams, and let's swap it to 3.71 ounces. So all the people that have to have the ounce and inch of blade to the weight of the knife, there you go. It meets even their standards. So very well done there. The lockup hasn't changed, even doing the little bit of spine whacking I did. Absolutely solid, no up and down, no left or right whatsoever. Still smooth, great action. This thing is definitely a fidgety knife. So overall, I think it's a pretty cool knife. You just gotta know what you're buying it for. If you're looking for a hard use knife, this isn't it. If you're looking for, an everyday user that you're not gonna do any super hard work to where you're gonna have to be prying stuff with that tip or doing a lot of lateral force, then I think this knife's for you. Other than that, it's your decision on, how you're gonna be using the knife. So there you go. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. And I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.